thought I wanted to come on here and just encourage you, whether you are a group practice owner or a solo practitioner, to also consider having your very own practice pit stops. So what is a practice pit stop? A practice pit stop is a time in space, and for us it was 3 hours today, where you get off the roller coaster, where you get off the hamster wheel, where you stop the doing and sit in a reflective space to really check in and see how are you going in running your business. So for us, it's really an opportunity to reflect, to also be accountable to ourselves and for us in the academy, to our other academy members and to our coaches and mentors, which includes myself as well, in terms of going, how am I going? So we ask a couple of really important questions in terms of how we've been going over the last 6 to 8 weeks. So we do 6-week cycles within the academy. We reflect on what's gone well, what hasn't gone well. We do a check-in to see where's our energy levels at from a mental, physical, and emotional perspective. Because especially this time of year, a lot of us start to run on fumes and we're just waiting for the finish line at the end of the year. And we want to make sure that we are proactive, that we don't burn out, and that we can still, implement the things that need to be implemented and continue achieving growth within our businesses. And then we do a bit of a process where we go through to identify the growth drivers in our business so that we can ensure that we are working on the right things. It is really easy to just stay busy as a practice owner. I'm sure you can attest to it. Your to-do list is probably incredibly long, but how do you know that you're actually working on the right things? And we ensure that we are doing that by putting it through a really great filter, by looking at the 5 growth drivers that is essential when you are building a group private practice. We then put it through our big easy filter to ensure that we are selecting things and tasks and projects to implement that's going to not only have an impact, but we also look at the ease of that implementation. And then we really break that down in terms of what does that entail? Do we have sufficient amount of time? Who needs to do it? When does it need to happen? So as you can see, it's really a process of reflection and accountability, decision making and planning, and we do all of that within the space of 3 hours. So it's a really highly effective way of making sure that you have that space to sit in that CEO mindset of planning, being strategic, and then having clarity in terms of what you need to work on over the next 6 weeks. So that's what we did. And I personally find it just so exciting to do this with the members, to hear about the wins that they've had, to also hear about the struggles, and to support them in making the right decisions going forward. Now, obviously, being able to do it as part of a community such as the Academy and having that facilitated is really, really amazing. But that being said, you can also do that with yourself, right? So I want to encourage you, if you're not doing something like this, to really consider making this a regular practice where you actually mark out time in your diary to just sit and go, okay, I need to step out of the doing and I need to be reflective and make sure that I'm still building the business that I desire, instead of just, doing one thing after the other because that is what feels like you should be doing. And a lot of times we want to complicate things. We feel that we have to be busy and stressed because if I'm not, maybe I'm missing something or not doing this right. And we also had a really great discussion this morning about, business should be simple. There's always going to be challenges, but we want to make it as easy as possible. We want to have ease and flow with the productivity. We want to have joy in our business, and we want to be mindful of when we are so driven towards doing more and more, why that is so. Where's that coming from? And instead of just doing more, we want to do the right thing. And we refer to that as the right next thing within the academy, and knowing what that is for each and every business, because every business is at a different level of growth, a different level of private practice development. Each practice owner has got different levels of support structures around them. Some people have got a big leadership team and a practice manager, clinical team leaders, a practice principal, and some of us have got none of that. So we are all a bit different, but each of us are able to build a business that can serve us without necessarily driving us to burnout. And that is the goal. And if you just take this one little step of giving yourself a practice pit stop every 6 to 8 weeks, even if it's just you by yourself, to really just sit in that space and get clarity in terms of what's the right next thing for my business, it's going to serve you so very well. Anyhow, I need to go and have lunch because I've got another 3 o'clock meeting. Wednesdays are my busy day of the week. So I'm just going to leave you with that. Feel free to always reach out to me if you need any help and support in building your business. Otherwise, I will speak to you soon. Bye for now.